Choose fighting with security at the high road, ruining your night. Choose antagonising disabled queue jumpers at theme park. Choose gimping around in the gym. Choose keeping it high. Choose punishment bummings. Choose battering 13-year-olds and their dads for chucking golf balls at you. Choose working security at Tea in the Park and robbing the punters. Choose asking a Welsh dwarf for a line. Choose triggering Instagram mums. Choose booting yappy dogs in the ribs. Choose taking an edible and doing the gay Gordons. Choose Leather Podcast.
Is that his life?
Go for it. We're not live yet. I'll flick that on once we're. Or do you want me to put it on the now?
Put it on the new. You got anything to get out your system before you?
Cracking scene in it. I think that was the first place I'd ever seen Steve Carell. I don't think I'd ever seen him before that.
Oh, really?
Or aye.
Anchorman.
Did you have seen him before that?
I can't think of him now.
Was Anchorman before? I think
Anchorman came out, and this is a fuck. Sorry, that better there.
I don't think Anchorman was out before Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, or whatever the fuck his name was. Bruce Almighty.
Anchorman was out first. You think so? I was 16 when Anchorman was out on DVD.
Right, Craig, you're gonna have to pull this shit up.
What came first, Anchorman or?
Aye, what came first?
I was 16. I know for a fact.
You were 16 when that came out? When Anchorman
on DVD. So it was would have been out in remember back then you had to wait like a year.
Right, Anchorman was 2004, and then is it Bruce or Steve Almighty?
I was 15 when
Steve Almighty. Steve Almighty.
What one's Jim Carrey? Is Steve?
No, it's Bruce Almighty.
He's
There's two?
Evan,
fuck aye.
So Bruce is 203.
Aye, Bruce is a year before.
So that's the first place I'd ever seen him. And he'd obviously been in, what's it called before that? Go and pull up Steve Carell's IMDb.
Anchorman is iconic, mate. Look at him now, by the way. 40-Year-Old Virgin was another banger, eh?
So he was out, so he'd already...
Wait, no, Bruce is Jim Carrey?
Aye, but he's in it. Remember he does it. And he's like, Bruce Almighty's trying to make Evan fuck up.
Right.
He's presenting.
Right.
Say stuff he shouldn't have.
So let's go to his like IMDb and see what his first like sort of big break was. Because I think it might be fucking Evan Almighty. Bruce Almighty.
Bruce, that seems like the first big one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder what Street of Pain is. Oh, it's just a short film. Anchorman.
40-Year-Old Virgin, that was probably what set him off, wasn't it?
That was him. That was all about he was the main.
So did he do that before
I remember she was a hoe, faux show.
So he'd done that before he'd done the Office? I just assumed like season 1 was where he kicked in and then people were like, oh, we really like him.
Well, no, because I think the UK one would have had to have been going way before the US one.
Yes. Wow. UK Office.
Like US Office must be early or late 2000s, I think.
Wow. Horton Hears a Who. It's a good film.
Right. So
2004, that's still pretty early, aye.
So do you remember that time where he just kind of
burst on the scene?
Aye.
He was very good in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, eh? I love when he's covering up for the black guy's been caught cheating.
Aye.
He's got his jacket on and he takes out the notes that says whole faux show and he's trying to make out he wrote that. Very good.
He's done some serious stuff as well. I liked him in The Big Short.
Have you seen him in Foxcatcher?
No.
Plays John DuPont. John DuPont was like this millionaire's heir. Like his mum had made her millions from horse racing. Mm-hmm. They were like one of these American like old money rich families. And they were getting their fingers into all these different sports and he started coaching these wrestlers. And there's a guy called Dave Schultz, and what's the other Schultz brother called? And he get killed. And that's a film about, Foxcatcher's a film about John DuPont shooting him. Brilliant.
Is there no some kind of issue with the film that they
made it look a bit
made
gay?
It a bit more Hollywood, eh? It wasn't it was a bit
gay.
Aye.
So if you go on and the actual movie itself's brilliant, but the actual documentary, Foxcatcher's incredible. It's Channing Tatum's in it, I forgot about that.
Aye.
And Mark Ruffalo. If you've not seen it, I'd definitely give it a watch.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I've watched it.
And I think, I'm sure Mark Schultz was in the wrestling, in the WWE. I'm sure one of the Schultz brothers made it into one of them was a UFC fighter. One of them wasn't because he got shot.
Mark Schwartz was an actual American freestyle wrestler.
Olympic champ.
So both of these brothers were really like top level, and that's why they ended up at this DuPont ranch, and he was just giving them loads of money to coach wrestling and these young guys.
Why did John DuPont shoot Schultz? That's one of the questions there.
I don't know. I think it's to do with he was undermining him.
Threatened by Schultz's independence and success.
There you go.
Erratic behaviour, mental instability.
If you like, get a watch, you will not be disappointed.
Do you know what?
It's a one to catch for the chick. She'd be like, let's go and watch fucking. And the fact Steve Carell is tremendous in it. He plays a cracking creep.
He looks a creepy guy.
Aye.
Think so?
Oh, fuck aye, mate. If you saw him in a pub, you'd definitely be like, whoa, what's that cunt? He looks weird, mate. He's here on his own as well, aye? Definitely. Definitely. Can Paul see chat?
Yes, I can.
Yes, Paul can.
He's what devote a quick 5 minutes to last week's card.
What's the
Speedrun
UFC on at the weekend?
Well, debatable.
Gamrot does a Gamrot, gets a unanimous decision. It was unanimous, aye. I like Gamrot, mate. I don't have a problem with him grinding out wins in this fashion, but it's not gonna.
Are you not entertained?
It's not gonna shoot him to the heights he's hoping for. He's gonna have to be a bit more risky, and the UFC are definitely not fucking about with people at the minute, are they? But as we see with the main event, so
I think that's part for the card being like nobody's watching the card thinking, "Wow, you're so lucky to have this UFC," and then we have it every week. But the talking point of this whole weekend for UFC was the fact that the main event in this card never went ahead.
A couple of minutes before, and you suffered this yourself only a couple of weeks ago.
That's 2 cards in a row because we've obviously missed a week, so that's 2 UFC events in a row where we've had this situation.
A co-main and a main. That's mental. Like unheard of, eh? So the official version is seizure. I'm not saying it's not true.
Do you think it's a bit dubious?
Missed weight by ½ pound and didn't try to cut the remainder either.
Didn't bother.
There was a bit of stick about her breasts, am I right?
Now, is she also saying she's not bothered about the money? Is that true, or is that just... I saw this online, I don't know if it's true. I'm saying, well, I take the purse money, not bothered about it.
She's had a lot of health issues in the past, a lot of cancelled bouts. So do you think this is maybe like a complication of that, and maybe, listen, you can't make this weight.
Undoubtedly.
You cannot safely make this weight, move up,
Paul,
or you're not competing.
Here's the thing. What happens if you're not needing the money because you've got your finger in other irons?
You're thinking about them.
You're thinking about, I've maybe got OnlyFans. I know, like you think about it. See, if you're a female fighter, you do not need to fight. You can make so much more money for selling pictures of your feet.
Well, depends on the fighter.
Does depend on the fighter, because I've said this about my upcoming fight. Like, I didn't give a fuck about the money, but that's because it's not a lot of money. It's not to do with, like, this is a lot of money. She would have been getting a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Here's the question. Did you see Corey Sandhagen talking about how much money he made for showing his balls?
I did.
Aye.
2 mil.
Right.
2 mil, bruh.
If that's a guy doing that, do you think that Blanchfield will not be able to get money showing her cooch?
Barber.
Macy Barber.
Of course.
Showing her FUD online.
I mean,
there's creeps out there. Loads of creepy wee guys. And it's all guys who are using this service. There's no woman going, you know what, I'm going to get me some pictures of fucking Corey Sandhagen's sack.
I made a joke on Instagram once about me and my missus having an OnlyFans, and the only people who messaged me, 2 gay guys messaged and said, what is your actual OnlyFans? That's mad.
It's guys.
There was
guys are creeps. Even gay guys.
There was a gay guy in my one of my old works, and like he would sell his used underwear to other gay guys. And they'd pay like £50, like he'd just buy like a new pair of Calvin Kleins, wear them for a couple of days, and then ship them out £50.
And what, like skid them up in that?
Just wear them.
A pair of Paul Craig's fucking... What's what going here? I've got Calvin Classics on as well. If you're looking for a pair of them with skids all up the back of them, then should this shit.
We should live auction them on the TikTok. Just see the bids go up.
When I was younger, right, is a boy I know, him, his missus, and a gay guy, friend of theirs, had all been out, like having a drink and that, gone back to the house, sleeping. Guy wakes up in the middle of the night, thinks his fucking missus is giving him a beach. It's the fucking gay.
Oh, it's the gay guy.
Aye, mate.
And I was raging, but I let him finish. I let him take me to the brink.
He actually stuck him in, grassed him up. And the boy got put in he went to prison for a wee bit.
Sex offenders list as well? Of course, it's rape.
I might think that was a bit strong. I was like, you couldn't have just got up and given him a fucking slap and that been the end of the... Like, haha. Right, don't do that again, though.
Do you know what I don't think we ever talked about? This was like maybe a couple of months ago. Now. See the group of guys that all had wives and that? But they were just all shagging each other.
Oh, Peterhead.
Mm-hmm.
The army guys.
Aye.
And like there's videos of it.
Aye.
Just blast the women.
Clearly know their first
But like
time.
they're wearing like thongs and that.
Aye,
and then they're videoing themselves and one of them's like fucking railing his pal and they turn the camera on him, he's like flexing to the camera and all that while he's railing his pal. But they've all got wives and fucking wings and all that.
Boys will be boys, eh?
And it comes down to it's like your kids are going to see this online.
100%.
There's also like
some of them had kids.
One of them had to be the first one to float that idea.
I like you fancy pounding each other.
Mate,
and then the other was just like, I'm in.
I'm trying to think. Somebody had sent me like a.
Greg will tell you, man. That cocaine will make you do some stuff.
It must have been Doug the Thug who'd sent me this stuff. It's about. Right. So this is a. I'll just fire it into the chat. That's probably the easiest way. I nearly put that in my family chat. That could have been disastrous. Leathered. It's going into a leather chat.
Family chat, eh? Big man, because you've got a family who loves you, eh? No, me.
There you go.
Which, by the way,
X-rated pictures.
To be
grow up, Greg.
Watchdog.
Aye, she's like the woman next door.
But then see if you're a wee boy and you're a teacher,
100%.
you're right on your OnlyFans. Like, hey.
She was selling X-rated pictures. Is that all she's done, though? Bannerman High.
Bannerman High, Glasgow.
34? Is she 34?
Physics teacher. But then see in school, you think how many ugly teachers you had, but you'd fucking scud.
Aye, there's like being a teacher, it just gives you a couple extra points, doesn't it?
Because you're surrounded by uggos all day.
And it's not just that. There is the like the teacher is the person, the leader of this class.
Aye.
Now the fact that they are,
and especially if you're a young guy, you look up to your teachers like, oh man, I'd give her one. So
She made 60 grand in 1 month. Aye, fuck the Waynes.
So that's what I mean. You're making 60 grand. Why the fuck would you want to be a fighter if you've got a fanny and tits?
you're no wrong.
Aye.
You're no wrong. It
Now,
just
in this same chat,
you have to want to fight, can't say.
Aye.
And that's
so this wee boy, she's got a son, and this wee boy's life's been made fucking been made shite. Gary Thompson says stick Jessica 𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗥'𝗗 OnlyFans leaks into a wee Google image search. Will I do this?
Aye, well, I'm not going to.
I mean, what did you just say there, Jessica?
Jessica 𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗥'𝗗.
Right, hang on, I'm going to go into the private.
This might be live ending worthy here.
Aye, the life could end. Jessica.
Yep.
Jack Rabbit.
X OnlyFans leaks.
I'll fucking spell. Only. Is that what she goes by?
I don't know who this is. This could be this woman. This could be somebody totally different.
And let's go images.
Look, oh, she's got
Turn the blur off.
she's got a physics robot.
I was going to say that.
Cricky Majingos, by the way, as my old nana would say.
That's her, innit? Oh,
What
Jesus,
be?
man. She's got a fucking...
I was thinking that.
You're welcome, guys, on...
Some city others, by the way.
Aye.
She's got that sleeper build, deceiving.
She hasn't half.
Hey, I wasn't expecting that.
No wonder she's getting 60 grand for these bad boys.
Tell you what, even I might chuck a couple of
She's
pound
got
her
to
way.
fake fake dues as well.
Should be a biology teacher instead of a physics teacher.
Aye. You're in the wrong profession. But that's what I mean, like, 60 grand, so aye, why would you
A
want
few
to
wee
be a fighter?
tattoos as well, tramp stamped up and so forth. Yeah.
So she's for aye, this naked
Well,
one.
she's got the paws as well, the paws tattoo. Anyway, off the phone, that's unprofessional.
That was maybe the most unprofessional
Like,
breakdown we've had.
Like hiding the hard on.
I've got the grey joggers on. I've never really... Ross, how is fight camp going? Terrible Harley. What's Sensei Doolin? When's Sensei Doolin on the open mat?
We'd love to have him on, but
Aye.
I just don't feel like wasting the guy's time, man, because he's like a king.
See, even speaking to him today, just sitting there, he just comes out with these, just he says a sentence and it's like punches through. Eh?
Aye.
It would be, and what he said today, I was just like, I never even thought of that. Never even considered that. Like, imagine it was just like a moron like me in charge of the gym the last week. Everyone would get pasted. Everybody would be hobbling about with fuck knee.
Craig, was there any good fights worth watching at the weekend's UFC?
Nah.
Didn't think so.
Nah.
For Craig to say no, that's serious.
Craig, you love the UFC.
Nah.
Scroll down and see if there's any. Nah. That was the rundown of this week's UFC.
Right. Well, we're into June now.
Yes,
and June's
which is
looking
exciting times.
very good. So at the end of the month, we've got International Fight Week, which is Oliveira and Topuria. Before that, we've got the Baku card, which we'll get on prime time. Then before that, we've got the Atlanta card. Obviously, Paul, you'll be there. This is going to be the last time we'll have you before you're off. And then the month kicks off this weekend
316.
with 316.
Which is a doozy of a card. Because we're getting... Where do you want to start with this?
I'm a mega Sean O'Malley fan. And
You want to start with the main event?
And a Merab fan now. I think Merab's social media
is so good, isn't it?
campaign has been brilliant. He's shown that more human side of him. And he's quite funny, mate.
Aye.
He's good.
He loves beating up fucking... What's her name?
Nina.
Oh, Nina. Aye.
Just keeps her or dinner.
He...
And we're everybody in this room's in agreement that the Valley just does it, didn't he? He just beats him.
I feel that way. I feel that way.
I can't see it going any other way.
O'Malley, like since the last
O'Malley.
fight, he's came completely off social media. He's not been on it at all. He's stopped smoking weed completely. And then there was a clip of him came out where he's going into like a sparring session and he's trying to emulate an actual fight. Like he'll be somewhere off. They'll have walkout music. They'll walk him out. They'll Vaseline him. And Conor McGregor replied to it like, this is what I done for the Diaz rematch. Just damn excited for this.
That was a John Kavanagh one I read in his book, John Kavanagh's book. He liked to do that sometimes. Like, he'd have
do the whole thing.
One of the coaches for the gym refereeing. But like, as if there's a man in the middle, Vaseline, music, walk out. We run through this. That's pretty cool. I did not know he was doing that. And now you say that, I haven't seen much of him on social media. I can't even think of the last sort of clip I seen of him.
Like he's not been on any podcasts as a guest or anything. I think he's been on Mighty Mouse's recently, but
he's kept himself to himself.
I don't even know if they've done O'Malley and Tim Welch.
Are you able to get the Sean O'Malley, the Valley tweets with regards to Merab saying that Sean pays his bills? She pays his debts. This is fun.
Oh, is this? I know what you're talking about.
Aye, go see if you can get this. This is fun. This is fun. If you've not seen it, you'll enjoy it.
Is there some back and forth between the lads?
Yes. Oh, you got to find it.
Aye, so this was the tweet before the first fight, and Sean O'Malley said, if I don't knock out Merab first round, he can fuck my wife. And then Merab's came out and said something like that. Oh, I respect Sean O'Malley. He pays up on his bets.
It's funny.
I love that.
It's good, isn't it?
I have a lot of time for that nonsense. I really like. I find this a very entertaining fight, and I don't have like a personal horse in the race.
What?
I just see Merab winning. I'd be happy with either guy winning. Honestly,
everyone knows what he's going to do, and nobody can ever stop him.
But then we thought that your man Magomedov could have, is that his name? Umar Magomedov would have gave him a hard run, and he didn't. He was taking him down and showboating. Aye.
Towards the end of the fight, Merab ran away with that fight, really, didn't he?
Aye.
Like you could argue the first couple of rounds, like there's
back and forth on it.
By the end of the fight, we're like, right, fucking, any chance of just wrapping this up? Because I have my bed to get to. Like, hurry up and say Merab's the winner.
So it's going to be a cool fight. It's going to be a fun one for the fans.
And I think both guys, obviously Sean O'Malley's taken a step back for social media, but both guys have done great at building their personal brand, especially Merab. He's done really well to what would traditionally that part of the world, obviously it's Georgian, it's those guys for that area don't do a great job usually of showing their more personal side, winning fans over. They do a lot of the dark, mysterious smash. Like he lives in Vegas, I think.
The Georgian boys have been doing all right, haven't they?
They have. That whole
co-main event is Kayla Harris. Yep. We're getting to see her fight for the title.
People are keen to see her.
I think this might be like the biggest underdog a champion might have ever been.
So I
see that there. Aye.
So Kayla Harris
-600.
they think she's just going to smash it. she's obviously a very high level Olympic judo.
Gold medalist.
Judo in it.
2 gold medals, I think, maybe.
But then she looked she didn't look as unbeatable in her last fight. I thought she looked not average, because that's wrong, because she obviously, but she looked the way we were expecting her to bust on the scene when she was just going to mop the floor with everybody. That Holly Holmes, remember when Ronda Rousey, when she was just beating everybody and everybody's like, right, doesn't matter who she goes up against. And I think that's what it wants for Kayla Harris, and that's what the UFC were pushing. Penya's not an easy opponent to.
And this is the thing, how many times have we got to see this? How many times have we got to see a massive underdog win?
Can we go into Penya's social medias? I'd like to see more of Pena, please.
Me too.
Definitely not Pig of the Week.
No chance. She might be, what would be a better word? Freak of the Week.
Freak of the Week. God damn it, Leroy. Ross, have you ever been involved in a non-fault accident?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever used a service like G4 Claims?
I never, but I should have. I was treated very badly.
It's a nightmare, isn't it? You're having to chase up these phone calls, and if you miss them, you've got to try and phone them back, waiting in queues, and it's that whole music that hit you with, like...
Not only that, I was left without a car.
Your call is important to us. Hi Ross, how can I help you? And it's like, hi, I'm looking to see if I can get a courtesy car. Well, actually, Ross, it's not actually in your insurance package and that, so you're not actually getting one.
You're taking the bus.
I know a mob who can deal with this music. They absolutely love the whole music. They love dealing with insurance companies, and that's G4 Claims. And we have been telling you about G4 Claims for over 2 years now, and the reason we tell you about this company is because the service they provide is unparalleled, and you can get it if you hit up where, Ross?
notatfaultclaim.com. You can also phone them on 01698 767 172. You can WhatsApp them as well if you don't want to talk to a person, or you can walk right in the door here. You can also get all the links in our description below.
Non-fault claim, you know where to go. It's G4 Claims. Don't suffer and listen to that hold music. Go to G4 Claims, get your courtesy car, get 100% of your claims, and they also will support you if you've been involved in a bus accident or an accident where you're not the driver and you're involved, maybe a taxi or a bus. So hit up G4 Claims and thank us later.
An error.
Aye. And a what? Say it again.
An error.
It didn't sound like when you said it. It sounded like you were asking for $10.
$10.
An error.
I can't stop saying it. Since Vegas, I've seen it everywhere.
Does Harris run away with this?
No, I don't think so. I think we're going to see a very close decision go one way or the other. We just see too many upsets.
Good, exciting fight, but
yes, I think the people will enjoy this. I think this will be a good fight. And I shit on women's fighting more than anybody, but I think this is a good one. I think this is worth staying up for. There you go.
Right.
I tell you what, I'd have this main event. Not over Marab Sean. I'm just saying it could be a main event. Not in this lifetime, but possibly.
Do you think, so Amanda Nunes has confirmed she's going to come out of retirement to face the winner of this. Do you think that is main event worthy? No matter who it's going to be against.
Amanda against either of them?
Yes.
I think Amanda's quite endeared to the...
I'm going to say
MMA.
no.
You're going to say no?
Nah.
Sick of Amanda Nunes.
No, I'm not even sick of him. I just don't think it's a main event. I just don't think it's main event worthy.
Okay. Something.
No. Did you see Scott Malone in the comments?
What's happening, my boy? Liquid Rooms tonight? No.
Scott Malone's not going to Liquid Rooms.
No. Stay away.
Scott, are you coming back out of retirement? Because you know I'm a massive fan of yours and I want to see you fight.
He said officially he's had enough, but I don't know. We can all be lured.
Right.
Right.
The next fight on this is this middleweight.
Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer. What did I see Joe Pyfer talking about on social media the day?
Have you actually heard him talk?
Rants and raves, mate.
I mean, he's a fucking
Right, he's a bit of a pet, isn't he?
Aye. Do you know...
Scott, because we've got comments up there. Scott Malone's saying, show me the money. What about some bare knuckle boxing, Scotty? Would you be interested in that?
He looks that type of guy.
There's obviously some bare knuckle boxing happening very soon in Scotland. Was it Edinburgh?
Yes, Murrayfield Ice Rink, June the...
There's a couple of Scottish guys.
I might say 7th, by the way. June the 7th, possibly.
No, that would be fucking this Saturday.
This is Saturday. It's my missus' birthday.
I'm sure it's July.
Aye. Get myself out, watch some bare knuckle.
I think it's about 6 weeks. It's about 6 weeks away.
Is it as long as that?
Would you be interested in that?
5th of July.
5th of July. Oh well. $5,000 at least.
Maybe. That's
Come
same.
on, Scott.
Right.
Right, sorry.
Gastelum, Pfeiffer.
I can't see past Pfeiffer. I'm sorry. Gastelum's obviously a very
older
experienced, but he's only early 30s.
Is he?
I think he's maybe like 31.
Oh my God. What an awful life. Poor
I
Kelvin has
think
had.
he was like 19 when he was in The Ultimate Fighter.
33!
He's a young guy. I just think,
Wow.
I think Pfeiffer's just the dog in this fight.
Aye.
But my like counter argument to that is Pfeiffer not being exposed, but when he fought Jack Hermanson kind of showed like you're not ready for this yet.
Did you
and it could
see
be
what
that case.
What Pfeiffer said about that Jack Hermanson fight? He said he had pneumonia. He said he'd been dealing with pneumonia and had staph twice.
Unlucky, bro, eh? Excuses only sound good to cunts making them. So
there you go. Aye. So you think this is too much a step for him? Because remember, Kevin Gastelum hasn't been beating people. He hasn't been beating the brakes off of people. Who'd they beat last? Like J-Rod, I'm sure it was.
J-Rod.
Out-wrestled him.
Mm-hmm. Gastelum, though, also never been knocked out.
Kelvin can
That's
wrestle, by
Pfeiffer's
the way.
easiest path to victory. And obviously everyone's chin does break eventually. It happened to fucking Max Holloway, so it can happen to anyone, but I don't know. I think I like Kelvin Gastelum for this one.
So, sounds bad, right? But see Joe Pfeiffer, he's got that ex-junkie thing that they all day they go.
Is Pfeiffer an ex-junkie?
Aye. You know, I've done better than I should have anyway, and I wasn't really meant to be here, and I've made it to here.
Proper on the kit?
Aye. I think it was meth. Am I right saying that?
Not sure.
Aye.
Anyway, I've seen him do this. You know, I was never meant to make it this far anyway, so even this is a win for me. Like, see that? It's a cop-out, mate. Like, any of us could come out with that. We could all come out with that one. Like, you've not got to look very far in the gym to see an awfully sad story.
Just send some crack to his room.
I know,
Fight week. Like, there you go, mate. Just test.
Kelvin, go up with a pipe.
Just burn it outside his room.
Just let it waft under the door. So remember this, Joe.
Aye. You could just that cunt on the bike in Vegas. Just give him 20 quid to do it.
Aye.
You'll share it with him.
Fuck, you do it for 10. Just remember this, Joe. It can get you.
Patchy Mix is coming back as well.
Patchy Mix
he's been out for a while. This is his first fight in the UFC, isn't it? And he's taking short notice.
Aye, because this was meant to be Cheeto.
Aye.
Cheeto's fight.
So I'm excited for this fight.
We obviously doing a bit of work.
Champion as well. You don't become a champion in any organisation if you've not got the fucking bollocks.
For sure. Nice guy.
He's also still very young in the sport. He's 31. So I don't think it's going to be a case of like Pitbull where it's going to be like a too little too late. I think we are still getting to see him in the UFC.
A young
at
31 is what, like, you could tell just the way he was training. No got tons of damage.
Aye.
No got loads of that shit that somebody like Kelvin Gastelum's fucking dragging CT.
What is his real name, but?
P-Dog.
Because it's no Patchy Mix.
I know. I struggle with it myself.
Really Gary.
Patrick.
Paddy.
Wee Paddy Mix.
But I think if he wins this, I think he's going to get a lot of favour with the fans. His last win against Jose Aldo, if you remember, holding him against the cage and all that. So he's like public enemy number one right now.
But that's good for the bantamweight division because it's needing a wee bit of a mix up.
And I think UFC's done this quite successfully, encouraging guys over from other promotions. Like certain divisions, there was a wee bit, we needed a few new bodies. Like, let's bring somebody in, and sometimes it's worked for the company and sometimes it hasn't. They're like, I think they didn't expect the Ridder to do as good as he's been doing. Who's doing great. Patchy Mix, if he comes in and does a job here,
his grappling should be able to.
We've seen him grappling.
Aye.
I think if he gets on your back, then it's pretty much game over, isn't it?
His back system was very efficient. Would be a good way to put it.
This is a cracking card. Honestly, I'm excited for this card.
The UFC's been taking heat. Vicente Luque, another favourite,
fight
against the guy who fights every 3 weeks. Kevin Holland,
at his actual weight. I don't like.
Yes.
I don't like Kelvin Holland at middleweight.
I said the same things in the notes. I hope this is a sign that he's going to like try and make a run at welterweight.
Aye, because he can be in the mix with these guys, and he looks great.
Yep. And this is we've said this before. Like, which Kevin Holland is coming? Are we getting motivated Kevin Holland, or are we getting Kevin Holland?
I think unmotivated Kevin Holland is when he fights at middleweight. I just don't think there's enough.
Just like I'll come. Oh, you need somebody I'll do it.
Whereas he's got a top 14 opponent. We'll put him into that top 15 if he gets the victory. And I think he can get the victory.
Luki's very good.
Kevin Holland's striking's tremendous, and he's no slouch when it comes to grappling, and that's why I'm leaning towards that way.
For sure. I thought Gunnar would have, and he did come close. I thought Gunnar would have seen Kevin Holland off in the grappling, but
so did I. I thought Kevin Holland was going to be outskilled everywhere, to be honest. Even in the striking element, I thought Gunnar's style, with that explosive karate style, but Holland fucking business.
And he was in serious trouble definitely towards the end of the third with an arm triangle, and his escape was perfect. Like 99 times out of 100 you'll be like, right, we're done here. Gunnar's got this. No, Kevin just gets his sell out and done the job. So again, great fight, another fan-friendly fight. Like, that'll be good to watch.
But that's the main card. Prelims, there is one fight, or one fighter, I'll say, that I'm excited to see, and it is Joshua Van. I've been like sort of banging on about him every time he fights. I'm very big on him.
Where's Joshua from?
Myanmar.
Burma.
Used to be called Burma. It's called Myanmar now.
But I think
there's a lot of good men out there.
I think he's destined for at least championship contention. The way he fights it, he reminds me a lot of Max Holloway. Good boxing, a lot of volume, a lot of pressure.
Where's he training out of?
I'm not sure.
Are you able to find that out?
But he's also a huge favourite. He's a minus 500 favourite, and he's only 23 years old. 4 ounce fight club out of Houston, Texas.
Aye, he's not going to be out in Asia.
Aye, that's like the prelim fight that I'm most looking forward to. A lot of these fights do go to a decision, but it's not like boring, grinded decisions. It's like Max Holloway, fucking Brian Ortega, Max Holloway, Calvin Kattar type fights.
Can you scroll down to see if there's any other fighters?
And this is my homie Azamat.
I like a wee 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗛𝗘𝗥'𝗗. That'll be alright. That'll be a wee bit of liar. Should be just two dudes throwing leather. Don't know these boys.
Oh, is that Dominican guy, that Cortez?
Is he in relation to Big Gustafsson? Your man at the welterweight?
I don't think so. Is that a common?
Swedish, though.
Is that a common Swedish second name, Ross?
Maybe
be
Smith.
Aye.
Then we've got these two. Wang Kong, she dresses up as the Joker at weigh-ins and stuff like that. So
I've seen her a few times. I think I've fought in the same card as her.
Get that to look forward to.
Just a good card.
Yeah.
A good main event. A good main card. That's what you want, isn't it? That's all you want.
And as well, there's nothing wrong with having a couple of guys. I think that Swedish guy, that
is some fucking hair. That is some hair. That is some tash.
That is a fucking...
That's a look. Click on his profile.
Of course he's Australian, mate. They all look like that.
Is he get like scars on his face?
Aye, on his cheek, aye.
Aye, he's a bit, he looks mental.
Aye. Like gruesome.
He could be some kind of like Mad Maori type guy. They scar up the face, eh?
Will we give one of them away?
We can.
Aye.
We can. I think we lost 2 t-shirts last week, didn't we?
Yep, they've been shipped out. They're gone. We were debating a wee bit of the Patreon one, whether we'll accept the spelling of fella, but we let it slide in the end.
I haven't even said to you, Danny. I haven't said to him about it.
He's never mentioned it.
That I'm trolling him.
What will we go? See, these fights are very close. They could go either way.
We go for a Max Holloway.
Well, I don't think we've got a Max Holloway.
Charles Oliveira. Would that be alright?
That would go doing well because he's got his
Charles
fight
Oliveira
coming up.
So we will dish out a medium Charles Oliveira t-shirt, and it's going to go for we're just going to get you to pick the full main card winner. We don't need decisions. We just need who's going to win. It's going to be too hard if you're doing every single fight in the main card. So you pick the main event winners.
Method's going to be tight, because there's a lot of these are all close. I feel like these are all very close fights.
So you've got 5 fights. Just pick the winner.
Pick the winner. First in the Sorry, first in. That's a totally different. It's going to be in the comments of the YouTube channel, and it can't be edited. And
No editing.
Once you put in your results, if there's more than one winner, we will just do a random spin the wheel, and that person will get it. So a chance to win.
One of my favourite fighters, by
Max
the way.
Holloway again. I was going to say it. Charles
Similar
Oliveira, UFC t-shirt.
Straight from Vegas,
Aye.
from the PI.
Straight out the PI.
We've got another one of them coming as well, and we'll get
Can I
another
get
John
them?
Jones.
Can I get that stuff? And it's brilliant. I love, one of the highlights for me is going to the PI
And just buying shit.
getting a couple of my son cuts about with these hats on, and he actually goes on about how nobody's got these.
Aye.
And he thinks it is cool. And again, they're affordable, but rare. And the same woman's worked in that shop since it's opened.
Aye.
Did you know that?
Anaconda has got this new piece of equipment, and it's called the Anaconda Knee Recovery Pro. What it is it's a knee brace that you will use for recovery in between sessions. This isn't something you wear during sessions. If you're looking for a knee brace for during sessions, then we would advise you to go and look at the knee brace section. But this will help you recover in between sessions. It uses air compression, it uses heat, and it uses massaging, so it'll make the perfect environment for your knee to heal a lot quicker. Ross, I'm looking for these vital details.
The vital details are anacondafightwear.co. Get on there. We've got next day UK delivery now. Now, the Anaconda Knee Recovery Pro, that's not in the deal, but any other braces, wrist, knee, the standard Anaconda braces that you are familiar with now, there's any two of those for $59. Again, next day delivery for those in the UK. You get free next day delivery if you're a Patreon supporter of the Leathered Podcast, and you also get 10% off at checkout if you put in Leathered10. So you can also get kit, rash guards, shorts, whatever you want. Go across there, grab yourself some gear.
Anaconda's a brand that both myself and Ross use, and we don't even use it if we're injured. We use it just for the sense of support. You don't have to have an injury to use any of these knee supports, ankle supports, wrist supports. All you need to do is wear them, and they'll stop you from picking up injuries. And it's just that confidence. That's for me, that's what it is. If I put on the knee braces during wrestling, it's to stop me from worrying about am I going to get injured. Aye. Because I'm coming to the point in my camp where I'm like 4 weeks, an extra 4 weeks on it. So I'm like, what happens if I bust my knee? What happens if my knee turns the wrong way? What happens if I fall on my wrist or I end up with some impact damage?
And we're training with big guys as well, you know. It's
Anaconda knee braces are the guys. And that's, for me, the reason that Anaconda knee brace became so popular was because it worked so well. Yeah. And that's why we use it.
That's it. If it didn't work, the guys wouldn't use them. Gym's full of guys using them. So see for yourself.
It's one of these things, see when you're looking at people's social medias, and you see the amount of people who are wearing these Anaconda knee braces. And it's just a testament to the product that Anaconda is putting out, and the fact that they have these deals where you can get 2 knee braces for like a one-off price, and you're maybe getting, it depends on what time of the year it is, you're getting all these different opportunities to pick up the knee braces, ankle braces, whatever it is. But I do believe this is going to be a revolution, this Recovery Pro.
Absolutely.
It's going to be something special.
So get across to anacondafightwear.co and grab yourself one while you still can, because I'm sure they'll not be there for long.
Keep it Anaconda.
Some other MMA news.
I've seen this one. This is good news.
The UFC have announced that they are heading to
Paris
Paris again in September. So I don't know, we can maybe start speculating about who's going to headline that, because it's going to be a fight night.
Fancy we trip to Paris, actually.
You fancy Kane, I was going to say.
Gan?
Gan.
I don't know, because
are you thinking that
if we're not getting Tom and John, then you can't put Gan on that card, because he's obviously going to fight Tom.
What other French guys you got?
There's
Benoit Saint-Denis.
Benoit, and there's Manon Fiorot, who just lost to Valentina.
I was just going to say,
and I don't think the French get behind their own, so I think you probably could put her on there and they'd be happy with it.
they're quite hardcore fans, mate.
Who's your man for PFL?
Cedric Doumbé.
Could you get him? Sign him?
I think he's kind of locked in, because
PFL.
he was meant to fight in the UFC. They gave him like a short notice thing, and then something happened and the fight didn't go ahead, so they were just like, nah, you're alright. And then PFL scooped him up and they're fucking flying with him.
He gets good money, and the thing is that no many people could have like Paris Saint-Germain players sitting cage side to watch you.
Talking about players watching you, have you seen who's wanting? Is it who's the football player? Patrice Evra wants to fight MMA.
He's signed to PFL.
He's signed to
He is
PFL.
signed.
That's wild.
Is he
I'm
undoubtedly an
assuming he's
athletic guy?
but what's his MMA like?
Aye.
Is this going to be like another CM Punk situation?
Going for a slide tackle is not like getting kicked in the head. It's different, mate. But hey, all the best to him. Hope he does well.
I think, see if you go to an organisation like PFL, I think they'll look after you.
Aye.
You think about guys on places like Bama and Bellator, like your guy for Geordie Shore.
Oh,
What's his name?
aye,
Alan
aye.
Chalmers. Remember, he was like, no, he was very skilled,
He's a good boxer. I think
Aye.
he's went on and won boxing matches, mate. That's good.
but they looked after him. And I think that's exactly what you need for sport. Like, if you want to see celebrities coming into mixed martial arts, you need to look after them.
And as
And
well,
I'm not against these fights. I'm just
not.
like, there's a time and a place for them.
and I think if you are an up and coming guy on this promotion, you can complain about, right, it is what it is. Yes, he's going to come on, he's going to get the limelight, but if you share a card with somebody like Doumbé or Evra, you've got a big chance there. There's a lot more eyes on this card than would have been with anyone else.
Yep.
Now's your, right, day son about it then. Do you know what I mean? Now's your big chance to show what you can do, to showcase what you can do. You have to try and take the positive where I know that it's they jump the queue. I understand that. I get why you'd be pissed off, but you can try and find the good in it and go, well, spotlight's here now.
I take advantage of it.
Take advantage of what you can.
But I'm going to say we get Benoit as in the main event of it.
And if it's a fight night, you can easily pull that. And know that they don't really care about these European cards, but they're normally, you're not getting a fucking
Less
Max Holloway.
investment.
You're not getting a big name. You're not getting a champion. So that's like Benoit Saint Denis. I'm down with that.
I like Benoit.
There's a lot of fun lightweights you can match him up against. It's going to
There's so
make
many.
for a good fight.
Wanna buy her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being involved in that card myself.
Paris. 1 month ago now.
A couple of cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Collaborators.
Some more news. The Noche UFC event, it was meant to be in Guadalajara, and the pay-per-view has now been moved to San Antonio in Texas and has been changed to a fight night.
Why?
The arena's not ready.
In Guadalajara?
Yes, this was an issue when it was announced.
Dangerous,
The arena had kind of,
Aye.
they'd gave them guarantees, no, we'll be ready, and it's not ready.
Is it no pure cartel country as well? Aye, I think there was a few issues where, like, are we going to be all right here?
I think, though, the thing with this, though, fans are actually kind of, they're happy with it because what it was looking like was that we were going to get Volkanovski and Yair as the main event of that, and people are not happy with that because Yair doesn't deserve it. He's 1-2 in his last 3 fights, and one of them is a loss to Volkanovski, and Movsar, he's on 13-14 streak, and it should be him. So
I know it should be, but I would be happy to see Yari jump in the queue.
Movsar
even though
is-
we've already seen that fight and it wasn't close.
Remember, it's called UFC Noche. It's not called fucking. It's not a normal card.
So that's what I'm saying. This is why people are happy it's changing to a fight night, because now they don't need that. So would you not now rather the main event of that fight night card is still Yair, but now Yair and Diego Lopez?
Yep,
'Cause
that would be cool. But
they've had some back and forth as well.
if they're putting this on in a big stadium and it's going to be all singing, all dancing, I think you put Volk in it and you put them up against the Mexican. I think that's cool. So I'm down with that. But
Aye, bit
if
of
they're moving it,
parody.
I get it.
Aye.
Pander to your crowd, innit? It's
That's
like,
it. You do.
sometimes you can jump the queue if you're just for where you are and if you're trying to get in a market.
Mexican fans they're going to come out, man. They're okay. They love just any fighting sport, don't they? They get behind any boxer, any MMA fighter, anybody who's going to come out and do it for them. So I'm certain they'll still sell at the venue. Like, the Hispanic audience will always come out and back their guys.
Mozart's booked, you see you're saying here.
Aye.
Yep. So again, that's the sort of other thing people weren't happy about. So the rumours are, and it's like kind of all but confirmed, is that he's going to fight Aaron Pico, who is
I like
debuting in the
Pico,
UFC from Bellator.
Friend of Kieran Reid's.
Yep.
Movsar's kind of said, he said here, "Thank you, champ, for trying to fight me," talking to Volkanovski. "I'm going to fight in July, and if you fight in September, we'll both win and we can meet in December. I've told the UFC I'll fight anyone they want, and inshallah, after I win, I can't be denied anymore." He also said another tweet was like, I quite liked, he's like, "If you think you're the best in the world, then why are you saying no to fights?" Which is basically him being like,
Who did he say that to?
he tweeted it, but he's talking about himself. He's like, why would I say no to a fight if I know I can beat this guy, because I'm going to get there eventually?
Aye.
But how many more do you need to win to just give him the title shot?
I mean, we do get to a stage where you can't. Nah. But again, he's just. It's like what we just said about Merab. Merab's done you copy the Merab model. Then he winning the crowd over because Movzar just isn't a fan favourite. These guys are struggling to catch because we have seen so many carbon copies of the same thing over and over and over and over. And that's no a slant on them. It's just these are very conservative guys. They don't do this a lot. They don't put themselves out there like that. Like I have Islam Makhachev, since he started doing more his YouTube channel, more on social media, I'm like, you fucking can get behind this guy. He is a normal guy. He just trains, he does all this stuff, wants to go for a barbecue with his mates and they kick a ball about and he's a normal guy. But then you see the very first comment was Khabib saying, I don't like this. Of course you fucking don't like it.
Did you see the issue with Khabib at the Champions League final?
I'm gonna throw you a surprising opinion on this. I don't have an issue with him doing it. I know you would think that I normally would, but I don't.
We're talking about him not shaking the women's hand.
Aye.
Her husband is Muslim. So she's fully aware that Muslim men didn't shake hands with women. Married, I think you can do it if you're not married. But I've a great friend of mine is a Muslim guy, and he doesn't shake hands with women. And I've seen this.
So do you think she's put him in a position?
I don't think it was malicious. I think you don't think about offering somebody a handshake, do you?
So whenever I was,
if you're through that culture,
but if she's not,
she is because she's married into it. So she is. You can't not be.
But she's probably still spent most of her life, and that's not part of her culture. Like you wouldn't think twice about offering somebody a handshake.
Absolutely, but she's not made an issue. It's weird that the media's made an issue.
Aye, you're right.
My friend, what he used to do all the time, he'd just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't shake hands with women." He would just I apologise, but we just don't shake hands with women.
Can't see that on telly, can you?
Aye, but if you notice what Khabib did was he just sort of pulled his hand back in and just like, oh, you should know. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit I like that people are talking about it, I suppose, but culturally it's just not what they do.
OMC's maybe hitting a good point there, especially if all the others have shook hands with him. So if he's shaking hands with everybody at that table.
Aye, why would you think twice about it? Like offering it.
I know.
I don't think it's a big deal.
France is a Muslim country now anyway. No, mate, I don't think it's a big deal. I think you don't have to shake hands with anybody. We don't shake hands before fights. We don't.
You're right. You're right.
But I'd shake hands with women if they offer their hand, but he doesn't. Who the fuck am I to tell him what to do? So I know normally you would be expecting me to be like, I fuck him.
But that's all our MMA news this week. We can do a couple of questions if you want.
Aye, then we'll fucking bounce.
Swap over.
Aye, what's the time on the...
That's 45 minutes.
Good, we'll have a wee question.
Logan asked, what's something you're irrationally confident about, even if you've got no experience in it?
Life, mate.
Like Ross climbing.
Life.
I like the comparison. Like Ross climbing Everest. Ross thinks he can climb Everest in a record breaking time.
Sherpa time. Smoke a fag on the way up and everything.
I'll put mine out there. Gladiators and Ninja Warrior.
You think you could do them?
I know for a fact I couldn't because we went to Ninja Warrior, but it was fucking hard.
Did you do the Edinburgh one?
Aye, but see, when I'm watching it, I'm like, fucking gimps, man, that's easy.
Would any of the two be interested in going on Gladiators as a contestant?
I'd love to.
Absolutely.
Right,
mate, and we'll go after these fights. I'll book Ninja Warrior in Edinburgh. It's brilliant, mate. You'd love it. Do you know what's humiliating as fuck though? My daughter smoked me at it.
Aye, mate, I was not good at it either.
Your wee lassie would be the same. Do you know what one?
So light.
See the wall where you've like got to put your hands and feet up the wall and click. I couldn't even get one.
Where it's like, I was good at that, and I was good at like see the actual sloped wall.
Yes,
I was fucking spot on at them. But everything else.
How were you with the big wheels? Did you do the wheels?
Awful.
Where you've got to like turn, so you basically jump up, hang, and you wheel it round to get yourself into the next one. I think there's 3. Horrific, mate.
Is it just Halloween jump a bit?
No, there's loads of adults, mate.
We went at like it was like 6 p.m. or something. We went and it was actually still pretty quiet.
It's brilliant. I'll book it for us. You'll love it. Eh? It's so good.
But before I'd done that was mine.
Because you'll hurt yourself. I hurt myself. I just think I'm irrationally confident about everything.
Is there something that
I'm trying to think of something specific.
It's a
that I've
difficult
never
question.
done.
Something
Aye.
I've not done that I think I could do.
Swim the channel or something like that.
No, you've got to like know your limits.
I
Man.
know. You would
Ross,
die.
you've said hunters.
I know
You've said you could fight a bear and shit like that.
Easy.
You're like,
I fought a few. Many gay guys in Edinburgh I've had to fight off. That's it.
That's a difficult one.
It is hard, because like we don't really go out there. We stick to what we know, kind of really.
So like when you watch Gladiators, Paul, you're humble and you're like, aye, that's hard.
Aye.
That surprises
you are
me.
quite like that though.
Like I watched the ones in the big ball, and I'm like, that's solid. Because my daughter's like, I'm watching it with my daughter. She's like, Dad, you'd be able to do that? And I was like,
I think you'd do it.
It is hard. The Ninja Warrior humbled me, like, because I thought the same as you. I was like, this is easy, mate. I couldn't do. Name limit on the number. Takeshi's Castle. Somebody's put that was a beauty,
Takeshi's Castle always looked fun, but it was just pretty much a lucky draw, like the one where they run through the doors.
Aye.
Oh, mate, and
Some were balded up.
What about the one where it was like a kind of maze of doors? So you'd walk in a room and there was like 3 other doors, but some of the doors like you'd go through,
water.
they'd do that, or they'd have like a character in it that would like chase you back out.
grab you and throw you about.
That was brilliant. Do you know another one? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Remember the TV program? Like, see if I was on that, I'd win that. No bother.
No, I think you need to know your limits, man. Even that, like I know I'm good at pub quizzes and that, but
What's the easiest like game show quiz type thing you think you could win? And I think I know mine.
Split or steal one.
golden balls.
Golden balls.
Ball, stealing all day, mate. I'm going to make you think I'm your friend and see right to the death.
You look like fucking the guy.
I'm taking that one off you.
What's his name? Jasper Cat.
Jasper. Aye. No chance that's his real name, eh?
I used to love Crystal Maze. I don't think that's a thing anymore, or if they've rebooted it, but I used to love watching that as a wee boy.
You're the black guy for IT crowd.
Oh, how have I not told you this? I got a message from an ITV producer asking if I want to apply to be on Big Brother, mate.
Seriously?
Aye. Where's
Do
my
it.
phone?
Aye.
Do you think I could win Big Brother?
You're
I
either
think you
winning
could be on it.
or you.
I think you get kicked off, Big Brother.
Mate, I'll show you this. Once we go on the Patreon, I'll bring it out, right? Bye. Boy, mate, I was like, I was sitting with Dylan too, because I was like, this is no chance. We were looking at it, like going through the boy's profile. I'm like, I think this is fucking real, by the way.
What about this for something that you could... Do you think you could get and keep hard in a porno? For this confidence.
How many people are watching you?
It's
like
a full
30,
team, man. It's a full team, man.
You've got me, Greg, and Grant, man, in the cameras.
That's just 3. How many?
You can stay hard?
In front of the guys, yes. Do you know what would throw me?
In front of the guys?
In front of the guys, no bother. I'll tell you right now what would
You one
throw
of those
me.
Peterhead boys?
See if you were aye, 100%. No, mate, because I'm stretching a bird. See if I had to look back and you were looking at the professional porn star women and they start shaking the head. Oh man, that would be me. I'd be done.
Aye.
If you looked over and you saw like Lisa Ann and she's like, nah, it's not what we're looking for. I'd just be like, oh man. I'll make my own way home. Bus stop at the front. That's aye.
Keep them hard and
in front of only in front of like the professional women would I find that.
Well, but that's
tricky.
right, you could drive a Formula 1 car.
Oh no, mate! Mind when we did the simulator?
Oh, I'm not terrible.
That was fucking hard. That was so
you drive a
hard.
Formula 1 car.
Nah, like that cockpit, all the buttons and shit.
Aye, that's tough.
I could make it go.
Do you think, what about this?
Could you parachute a plane?
That's what I was going to ask. Plane's crashing and you're like, it's game day. You don't have all the training. All you have to do is just jump. Could you land?
Life or death, I'm out the door.
Like you've already got the parachute on you, or do you need to run somewhere?
You need to
get
run
the parachute
somewhere, get
on.
the parachute on you, and you've got to land, obviously, and survive.
I mean, I would be like, right, look, it is now or never. I'm going out the door. I know I would. Because, so what, see when we did the bungee jumping, people who I know who've done skydiving, they're like, it's so high that your brain doesn't, you just jump out. Whereas when you can look down and see the ground or something, your brain goes, don't do this.
I don't know, man, but looking out there and seeing nothing. Would you do it at night? Like a skydive?
Oh no, man. Oh no. I'd just die. I'd just let the plane go down. I'd just be like, fuck it.
Do you think you could fly a plane?
Do you know what? I'd give him my best shot.
I think I could fly a plane.
Like a Cessna.
Aye.
Like a Carell guy. I think they're just foot pedal jobs, eh?
I just gas and go.
I'm going to say it's definitely not that easy.
Nah,
Up,
I don't
down,
know, mate.
Steering. I think it is.
I've seen you do some things.
I think John Travolta does it for fun.
That's right.
Harrison Ford does it. He crashed right.
What about a helicopter? That's a trickier.
Oh no,
that's a tricky piece of equipment, eh?
Right, so that's yours. You think you could fly a plane?
I think you could fly a plane. I don't even think that's an overconfidence.
Like, see these movies where the pilots died.
Can anyone fly the plane?
No, but I think I can.
That's good enough.
Good enough. Do you want the like see the people on the ground? What are they called? Like mission control.
Air traffic control.
Air traffic control. Mission controls for space.
Right.
I think I could do a rocket as well.
Mind the boy hijacked one, Sky King, and he fucking killed himself. He was like this mentally ill guy. Type it into like Google, Sky King he got called. He hijacked a plane and then just flew it about. And he started doing he was like, oh, do you think this boy. He hijacked.
So he just hijacked?
Aye. And then he was like, do you think I could do a barrel roll?
A Horizon Air ground service agent with no piloting experience. And it performed an unauthorized takeoff. 2 jets were scrambled. Russell, the sole occupant, described himself as just a white guy.
Aye.
A broken guy, got a few screws loose, I guess. After about an hour and 15 minutes after takeoff, he successfully executed a barrel roll before he crashed it.
Crashed it on purpose though. He went, do you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do here. Like, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to call. He either says I'm going to call it a day or I'm going to call it a night, and he just fucking nosedives it down and kills himself.
Sometimes you just
never flew a plane, mate. Barrel rolled
and get it up or out. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Nah,
I wish he hadn't killed himself, because that would have been he could have got a job after that. So there you are.
I've seen these stories that flash up on your social media. One of them was like the pilot who was like taking coke and partying and all that kind of stuff has been hired back by like one of these airlines.
He's just
he gets sacked, right? And I'm like,
getting a beach at takeoff.
Aye. He's been sacked, right? And I'm like, that's shit, man. All the guy's doing is bump a couple of lines.
He's just trying to live.
I hit a couple of bitches up, you know. He's having a good life. And
they've all driven about with a line or two in us.
And now he's like, you're sacked, and then people know he's been hired again into like another
good for him.
company. So
good for him. Hopefully he's left the gear behind.
Aye, hilarious. Paul, can you mention a street fighting story? I don't think I've done that many street fighting, have I?
No, we done a thing on this a couple of weeks ago.
Aye.
And
street fight is wrong.
I'll tell you.
Avoid it.
I'll tell you one of the guys, I seen him the other day and he just growled at me like he knew I was talking about him. Talking about it on the Patreon. But on that note, guys, hope you enjoyed it.
Join the Patreon if you want these exclusives, bros.